what's up, comic book fans? As always, I'm Shay from the channel Zachary Shay, and today I'm going to ask the question, what do you do when you've spent your whole life trying to become an artist, and just right when you're about to get your big break, when you're about to get a chance to display 10 art pieces, you find out that you're going blind? That is the question in The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott by Zoe Thorogood. So this is going to be a series of videos. I mainly make videos on fantasy books, but also contemporary fiction, historical fiction, though I haven't done that in a while, but also comic books, manga, and video games when I can. And I wanted to start a series called Getting Graphic, where I talk about some of my favorite graphic novels. I know there's a lot of fear amongst book readers. They're afraid that there's, overly dense continuity. They hear the word comic book. They think that that means they need to have this big, expansive knowledge of all of this lore. And I am mainly going to be highlighting series that you don't need all of that for, that you can just kind of jump right in. And the first one I want to talk about is a book I finished recently, and that is The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott. I read Zoe Thorogood's other book, It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, which is a memoir. And in it, she referenced this book because it's about her as an artist creating after this book. So obviously, with It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth being my second favorite comic of all time, I'm going to read her first comic. And did it meet my expectations? Absolutely. It's not my second favorite comic of all time, so I'd still put It's Lonely a little bit over Impending. But man, was this excellent. And this to be her graphic novel debut is insane. The amount of talent Zoe Thorogood has both as a writer and as an artist is insane. It's absolutely off the charts. Some of the art in this book is so insanely detailed, and the way she's able to panel and paint a scene with her art is bar none. Very few artists are able to do this. So in this, Billy Scott is basically a recluse. She never leaves the house. Even the people that live in her building, the other kids her age, they're not even sure what that roommate looks like. They thought Billy was a guy. She never leaves her room. She never interacts. She never makes friends. She just focuses on her art. Not even focuses on her art. She's not even putting, canvases out. She's just psyching herself out about what she should do with her art. And should she try to tell this meaningful message? Should she try to do something abstract? Should she try to do this or that? Or what'll get her, the accolade she wants? And, she's so anxious about what she should do as an artist that she never exists as a person. And all that changes when she is struck in an altercation. And the doctor tells her if she would have come in earlier, they could have caught it, but she's going blind. That's the setup. She's going blind. Her sight is diminishing with each day. And she decides to paint her 10 canvases. She's going to go on a trip to meet 10 people. The first of which is one of her roommates. And you kind of get these 10 people's stories, and some more than others. And you also get journal entries as she makes notes about each of these people, and she paints her portraits, and she goes on this big coming of age story and kind of a journey to find purpose, because she knows, her eyesight is going. There you got some cool imagery with her parents and the eyeballs. Where this ends. It ends with her going blind, and oh man, it's such a good coming of age story. It's such a good story about perseverance. It's also a love story. And it's just remarkable. The relationships are very well constructed and this is a very short story, right? Like, this isn't a manga that has 10 volumes. This is one short graphic novel, and it is just an amazing work of art. And I know Zoe Thorogood, she's kind of like the Frank Ocean of comics in my mind. She drops when she drops, but there's no release schedule. You never know when she's going to come out with something. She has 2 remarkable comics. And yeah, I think this is where you should start. I started with It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, which I do think is her better book. But I say start with this one. Mainly because I think after this one, you're going to want to read anything she wrote, which includes It's Lonely at the Center of the Earth, which also references this book. And yeah, so she goes on a journey to do these 10 portraits, and oh man, at the end of the book, you get those portraits, and the way she's able to, and these may not seem like much, but the more context you get about their characters, the more these portraits will connect with you. Oh man, for a debut, this is a truly exceptional piece of graphic novel history, I guess, and it will go down as one of my favorite comics to read this year. And yeah, if you've read The Impending Blindness of Billy Scott or any of Zoe Thorogood's works, let me know what you thought of them. If you have anything similar that you think I might like, a better comparison, but not quite, is it kind of feels like the Life is Strange video game. It kind of evokes a lot of the same feelings as that. And I think my mind's only going there because Zoe Thorogood worked on one of the Life is Strange comics. But it does have that vibe. It does feel like Max and Chloe's sort of journey. So let me know if you have read any comics with a very similar vibe. And yeah, I hope to cover more comic books on Getting Graphic. Thanks, guys. Peace.